Well, good morning. We have a full house today, and we're glad to have all of you here. We're going to be swearing in a young lady who has served this community in so many ways in the past, school board and city council, and now she's going to go get a job that pays. And we're excited about Lucy being here today, and I know she's going to do a great job for a great man who passed away and who had dedicated his life to the citizens of the northwest part of the county, and we will miss him greatly. Lucy will be taking that job over as soon as we get through swearing her in today. And I think I'm going to have to move the agenda around a little bit to get all this done the way Tyner tells me I have to do things. The new county judge is going to learn that you really don't run this meeting. You wait till somebody tells you what to do and then you do it, but you'll have a lot of help doing that. We're going to get her sworn in just a minute. I'm honored today to introduce Rock City Church Associate Pastor Marlene Villarreal, who will give the invocation, and followed by the pledge to the U.S. and Texas flags. Will you please stand? Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. If we could pray. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for another day of life to represent you well. Father, we pray for the county, Nueces County. Father, we speak blessings over this county. Father, I pray for the commissioners. I pray for wisdom and understanding. God, would you rain down your wisdom with ideas and strategies on how to benefit this community, Father. God, today, those that are being sworn in, Father, also we speak blessings over their life. We thank you that you are good and you are faithful to this community. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you very much. Today's November 14th. We're meeting in Nueces County Commissioner's Courtroom. I'd like to certify that all members of the court are present, that we have a quorum. I'd like to call for approval of the minutes of Commissioner's Court meeting on October 31st, 2018, please.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, pose same sign. Okay, Tyner tells me I need to go over to consent agenda item 3K, which is approved bond of Nueces County Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1, Place 1. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the bond. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, pose same sign. Okay. Tyner, you want me to sign that? Or does Lucy need to sign it first? Okay, thank you. In case any of you are wondering why we're doing this the way we're doing it, everything you do in the county is in somebody's statute. And once we get into these things, we have to follow however the law is on what we're supposed to do. And Tyner is the in-house lawyer for the court, and he's
Ready to take oath, Judge.
huh?
She's ready to take oath.
All right, we're ready to go. Commissioners, would you join me down front, please? Lucy, can you come to the middle, please? And your family? Hello, hon. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I don't call many huns. How are you? Good to see you. Thank you. Hi, Boy Neal. Come on up, guys, please. I've asked former county judge Terry Shamsey to join me. Terry has had a long history of service with Lucy, and I'm honored that Terry would come and be here with us this morning with the commissioners. Yeah, come on, get around. Everybody in? All right, here we go. Raise your right hand. I, and state your name, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1, Place 3, of the state of Texas, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state. So help me God. Congratulations. Lucy?
We love Lucy.
Judge, put the next line down.
All right. There you go. What else? Do I sign here?
Nope.
Nope,
This
that's it?
This is the official.
That's it?
That's it.
official?
It's official. I'm gonna follow this with the clerk.
When the hell are you going to work?
You can put your.
Yeah, I got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1, Place 3, Judge Lucy Rubio.
Is there a reception outside? We need to recess the court again for a few minutes. Okay. Recess the court till 10:30. We have a little reception outside.
Yes. Judge, I wanted to thank you for swearing me in. It's an honor and a privilege for me. So thank you.
Look forward to having you with the county.
Thank you. They've been very nice to me, so I just wanted to let you know. I just want to thank everyone. I feel overwhelmed and very blessed to see you all out there, my friends and my family, and everyone that I met, throughout my journey. And so I just thank God for everything that's happened in my life. And I've been blessed with my husband and my family. My sister's here, and my son. My daughter couldn't come. She's in Dallas. But thank you so very much. And commissioners, thank you for allowing me to be here this morning. And again, we have cake out there, and hopefully it's protected. But thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to my new journey doing the Justice of the Peace. And I know I have lots of friends out there. I can't name you all, but it means a whole lot to me that y'all are here. I know my parents are watching up there. They feel very blessed, and they're watching me with their little smiles and saying, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for all my blessings, and thank you for being here. God bless.
Thank you.
We're recessing the court for 20 minutes. Mic's on. Thank you. We're back in session at 10:30. Thank you. Tyner?
I think you'll go back and maybe do the minutes and
I did the minutes.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I'm at the implementation of the Accident Prevention Plan.
Judge, would it be okay if I went ahead and made a motion to table an item that
Sure.
don't anticipating being heard?
4A6,
Yes, sir.
4A6,
The appraisal district doesn't want to come and make a presentation, and so,
4A6.
yes, I would move to table that.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Both same sign. Thank you. It's done.
Judge, I'll read the continued implementation of the Accident Prevention Plan. Whereas the county judge, county commissioners, county sheriff, elected officials, and department heads continue their support for the three pillars of safety, which consist of keeping our employees safe at work, safe at home, and the safety and welfare of the public in which we serve. Whereas these safety measures have had a direct and positive lingering impact on preventing accidents, reducing the frequency and severity of injuries, and most importantly, minimizing their consequences. Whereas it is Nueces County policy to manage and conduct operational business in a safety-oriented manner which offers maximum protection to all Nueces County employees and its citizens. Whereas continued support and reinforcement of this plan will minimize unnecessary accidents and control workers' compensation costs for the future, and that Nueces County will continue to utilize the free services of the risk consultants provided by Texas Association of Counties in facilitating the prevention plan. Now therefore be it resolved that the Nueces County Commissioners Court, Nueces County, Texas, in a joint resolution hereby proclaims their support on behalf of the county to the continued implementation of an effective accident prevention plan in agreement with the Texas Association of Counties and the Commissioners Court. Furthermore, challenges other elected and appointed county officials to support this safety initiative and work in a cooperative effort to develop and implement these accident prevention plans.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, pose same sign. That's it? That's all those?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Public comment reserved for items not posted on the agenda. See no public comment. Public comment. Anyone here for public comment for items not posted on the agenda? Okay. All right, before I take up the consent agenda, I'm going to move item 4A4 to be discussed now. Commissioners, we are pleased today to have Ricardo Navarro with Denton, Navarro, Rocha, Bernal, Hyde, and Zach, who has done work for this county, for the city, and for many counties around Texas as the lead person and very familiar with the county attorney. She has worked with him for years here in the county as a part of the team. And today I've asked Rick to come talk to some of the commissioners who may not know Rick. This is one of the most important things that you're going to do next year. And that's the renewal process for the collective bargaining agreement, which expires the end of this year. And we'll begin discussions next year with the collective bargaining agreement for those that are covered by the collective bargaining agreement in the Sheriff's Department. Rick, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Judge. Thank you for having me here today. And I'm actually surprised that I'm here because the last contract we negotiated was, 4 or 5 years ago, and I was convinced then that that would be it, that I would be gone by now and that the contract was a long-term contract. It was a good contract. I've not heard a peep out of it in terms of grievances or anything, so as best I know, it worked very well.
It has really worked well.
It worked well for you, and also you sidestepped some very contentious issues that happened in other parts of the state having to do with coverage of the constables. That was taken care of here early on, and so all that, all those problems that came up in other counties, you did not have those because those were resolved in the first contract cycle. But it is coming up, and I'm told that we're anticipating a notice next spring.
Right.
I know there's been a lot of personnel changes, but I'm just down the road, and I'm honored and would be, very happy to work with you all again to get your contract closed again.
Very good.
whatever
Do
reason.
any of you have any questions of Rick? He is a longtime member of the negotiating team all around Texas. I think you just finished El Paso, didn't you?
Did El Paso contract there and in Bear, and we just finished 8 contracts for various cities along the Rio Grande Valley.
Very good.
So we have a lot of experience with it.
Yeah. Thank you. Anyone have any questions, please, of Rick? Please. Counselor, you are a valuable member of this team. And for the commissioner's knowledge, we have the county attorney, Rick, of course, is there. Who else is on? The sheriff has a representative on there.
They have representatives of the constables
The constable,
and the OCA director.
okay,
In this case, would have been Kristen.
right,
And
that's it.
Julie?
Julie from.
And Julie,
Julie from HR.
and Julie, yes, okay, sorry, Julie. I wasn't leaving you out, Okay, and that's it. All right, anyone have any questions of Rick, please? He is an expert on behalf of the counties.
Judge.
So move.
So move.
When does it
Second.
start? When do they start the negotiations?
It would not start until you receive a notice from the labor union, telling you a notice of intent to bargain for the upcoming fiscal years. And that typically does not come in until
Spring,
February, March, in the spring.
Yeah.
So we're just sort of getting ducks lined up in a row here.
Okay, thank you.
But it doesn't start till
and
next
the
year.
laws have changed in the last 4
Been
years.
a lot of legal
A
developments.
lot of legal developments.
The last 4
Okay.
years, yes, a lot of legal developments. You have a good, solid core contract.
Right,
I would hope that the core aspects of the contract will hold, and that it'll be primarily a fiscal issue. But, again, there's different folks coming in and changes, and so there may be some updating that needs to be done on the operational side, but you have a very good core contract. We're not talking about, and I can say with confidence, I'm sure even the union would say,
Right.
we're not talking about building anything from scratch. We're
Yeah.
just talking about
building on what you have.
building on what's there, dealing with fiscal questions, maybe a little tweaking on certain benefit issues, and I would not expect more than that, so.
Good. Is the auditor part of that? No, not. Okay, very good. We have a motion, and a second, to hire this team to enhance what's going on. All in favor? Aye, opposed, same sign. Thank you for coming today. If I were going to be here, I would look forward to this.
Well, Judge,
And I'll read the paper and see how well you do, but
best wishes to you, Judge. Pleasure working
thank you very
with
much.
I look forward to working with the,
Yeah, I will tell the commissioners, stay away from the negotiations.
well, we'll deal with all of that when.
I know.
There's a lot of
know.
logistics around that. But
All right, very good, Rick. Thank
Thank
you.
you all very much.
Thank you, commissioners.
Don't make promises.
Don't make promises, for God's sake. Yep. Consent agenda items are items that would be voted on by one vote by members of the court unless a member of the public or a member of the court asks that that item be pulled and individually voted on. I'd like to call for public comment on consent agenda items 3A through 3U, with the exception of K, which we've already done. We've done K, so it's 3A through 3U with the exception of K. Any public comment? None. Commissioners, any comment on the consent agenda items 3A through 3U with the exception of K? See none. May I have a motion?
I'd like to pull L.
I'm sorry, L? All right, we'll pull L. All right. Any others? If not, I'll call for a motion to approve consent agenda items 3A through 3U with the exception of K and L. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye, pose same sign. We'll now go to L. Yes, sir, Commissioner.
Well, the reason I'm pull out that one, Judge, really I'm just concerned about number 4. The other ones look all right to me. Number 4, it says commissioners, but it says on the heading, it says advisory. I guess they're commissioners or advisory board. I don't know what, I think they're port commissioners, park commissioners, but also they don't expire until January. All the other ones expire in December. So can we just, I'd like to move the whole that to January.
They-
The,
Is that we've always
And the
That
appointment.
was this, I mean, this was done one before, so I've always done it like this, so I'd like to just go ahead and get them done.
Well,
I don't know,
Well, make a motion, Joe.
I'd like to make a motion that we hold off on 4 until the New Year's. And
Okay, is there a second?
Second, and I'd like
Okay.
discussion or clarification. So
All right, discussion?
we're on item L.
L4.
Now, the appointments that the commissioner is asking about, all these terms for historical commission in next month. Is that correct?
End of December.
Into December. So you're wanting to have them voted on next month then?
no, yeah, everything now except for 4. Because everything else expires in December or expires in January.
Well, the term, and you're talking about the Christus Spawn Board?
oh, he's talking about the
No,
No, I'm talking about the
Park
park board.
Park Board.
Oh, beach management. Beach management park.
Coastal Park
Coastal
Board.
Parks. Oh, gotcha. Oh, okay. And so you're looking at delaying that until next month,
For January.
to December 4th, January?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No.
No.
Motion fails. Okay. Let's go ahead and call for the vote on L 1, 2, 3, and 4, please. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign. No. Motion passes. Thank you. That's all of the consent agenda. All right, regular agenda items. All right, we've done 4A1. All right, engineering. Good to see you guys. Thank you for being here. This has to do with drainage.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners.
Morning. Good morning. How are you?
My name's, very good, thank you. My name's William Golston. I'm the Executive Director of the Corpus Christi chapter of the American Council of Engineering Companies. ACEC, as it's known. ACEC is the business association of the consulting engineers. We've got a national presence. We have chapters in the states. In Texas, we have local chapters, and we have one in Corpus. You know most of the, I trust you know most of the engineering companies here, and we have been concerned about drainage in our area for a long time. We've had a lot of discussions about it. We've worked with issues on the city. We formed 2 committees, one which looked at criteria to help the city, and another one that looked at funding. And so at this point, I'm going to turn it over to John Michael and let him talk to you about what we think you might consider.
Judge, Commissioners, good morning. And I'll keep this brief. I know you've had a full plate this morning. You're going to have a full plate after me. So, when I was here a month ago, we were kind of focused on how lucky we were that Nueces County was not hit like Harris County was hit with Harvey last year. And, the Carolinas were going through their flooding event. But just in the last month since I was here last time, we had Hurricane Michael hit the Florida Panhandle. We had the floods in central Texas, and I don't think it's stopped raining in Corpus Christi since then, other than today. So that just kind of reminds us of how subject we are to the potential for flooding here in Nueces County. We're along the Texas Gulf Coast, and we're always going to be subject to tropical storm activity and cold fronts that stall in our region and have the potential to drop a lot of rain in a very short period of time and can potentially create some havoc. So, when we talked last time, I suggested that it might be a good idea that we get our engineering group, ACEC, together to look at how we can help you all kind of move this ball forward and looking at funding strategies for Nueces County to deal with flood control and storm drainage. That's what the engineers in Harris County did. They all banded together and they worked with the City of Houston and Harris County Commissioners Court, and they were successful in getting a $2 billion bond package passed to do some very significant flood control up in the Houston area. As I mentioned last time, it's not because we've had a shortage of studies in engineering work. We've got lots of engineering work, got lots of studies that are sitting on shelves either at City Hall or down at Public Works here in the county. We've always been short on funding, and I want to thank Tyner for helping me with a white paper that I think that you all have in your packet that It's kind of a two-page synopsis. Attached to that is a document we put together in 2008, Judge, when we were looking at some funding strategies back then. But, the bottom line is, and Tyner helped me with just making sure that I had the facts straight as far as what's existing out there and what the tax structure for those drainage districts are. And you can see that, that you do have some drainage districts out there that do have taxing authority and are using those taxing authorities, but it's very limited in what they can do. And they're very, drainage and flood control don't respect political boundaries. It starts here, goes through 5 different political boundaries before it ever gets to the Gulf of Mexico. And so, we got to fix that. And so, as William mentioned, we had 2 subcommittees. One was dealing with drainage criteria, what engineers do to design drainage and flood control. And that committee met a little over a year ago and got some things worked out with the city of Corpus Christi and their drainage criteria. But our committee on funding really never met because it's really about timing. And I think the timing may be right now with the public to look at how we're going to address future funding for drainage and flood control improvements in this county. I noticed that the agenda item after this addresses the city of Corpus Christi and Nueces County coming together. That's a great start. It'll help mend all of these studies that have been done at City Hall and the county and get consistency in those things. It'll help you set priorities that don't reflect political boundaries, but reflect the laws of physics and where the water's ultimately going to go. And hopefully it will help mend funding strategies as we go forward. Our group met at ACEC. We had a very good turnout of our membership. We spent about 2 hours talking about funding strategies that we believe that we could help you with. And the 3 strategies are essentially, and they're in the white paper. One, consider creating a countywide drainage district, very similar to what other counties along the Texas coast have done, San Patricio County being a good example. Number 2, if that's not possible, look at expanding the jurisdiction of one of the existing drainage districts. Expand that boundary. There are some governance issues that would have to be dealt with that, but that might be a possibility. And then thirdly, if those 2 couldn't get done, could you utilize an existing entity like the Nueces River Authority that has the legal capability to come in and help Nueces County and all of the cities in the county with management, financing, and operations and maintenance of flood control? That's another possibility. So we've laid those out. All of this is going to take some time, as you know, and as William leads the group of engineers, ACEC, we're here today to tell you we want to help you. We probably know better how lucky we've been because we know the potential here. And all you have to do is look at some of the new FEMA maps and you get a real good appreciation real fast of what might happen if we get a heavy rainfall. So we need to get the city coordinated with the county and the other outlying cities coordinated with the county and do this comprehensively. That's important. So I was real pleased to see that your next item is going to address that issue. San Patricio County did the same thing. They took all 7 incorporated cities. They went to the Commissioner's Court a little over a month ago, and they're working with the Drainage District. They've already filed their paperwork for their grant application, and they're all doing it comprehensively. So I'm glad y'all are moving in that same direction. So with that, I'm going to quit talking. I'd be more than happy to answer questions. William and I are here really representing our group, and we are here to help you as you begin to move forward with some of these strategies.
Questions of John? Anyone?
Yes, Judge. I think this is an excellent idea. I know that John, when I first got on court, John Michael and his staff presented me a copy of that 2008 study, and it's kind of just been there. And I know, Judge, you have tried when you first came on, and one of the things that you told me about is be careful in how you manage this issue. And so, we've been looking throughout the last couple of years on what to do, and the push that we've had, Commissioner Vaughn being a part of the group, and the talks that we've had with Commissioner Gonzalez and our Drainage District partners and Drainage District 2 and others. This is where we all want to go, I think. I don't think in this day and age you're going to find many, if any, people who are going to say, no, I want to protect my own interests or my own political interests. I think we all see the need for this countywide plan. We look at the great work that Senator Hinojosa has done for the southern part of District 20, which is Hidalgo County, and they get millions of dollars every legislative session while we're standing here still basically because we don't have that collective voice like you're talking about, John. So I think this is definitely a step in the right direction. I spoke with Commissioner Vaughn, and she has assured me, and just to say it publicly, we have some great partners in the city of Robstown. Obviously, Drainage District 2 is a big part of her conversation and who she's been talking with as well, but that we don't exclude those. I know that this is just kind of a method to step forward, to get us moving forward, and I know that's what we want and we need to get us all moving, but I just want to make sure that we don't forget those partners who still have as much gain or to lose in this process as possible, no matter what options that we choose, that we include them, that they're a part of this, even though City of Corpus Christi and Nueces County are entering into this MOU, hopefully if we support it, but that they are part of this also. So I'm hoping that there will be a big part of the dialogue after we vote and approve this.
Very good.
Well, I don't think that we can do it without all the partners. We're in this together, and when I brought this to the judge, it was because I felt like it was a regional problem, and I think you know that. And from being on the council, I know that they have a struggle with this all the time, and we're fighting against each other to solve the problem. We haven't done it. I not only think that the other water districts need to be involved, but I think TxDOT needs to be involved as well, because some of the things that they do, they fight against the county, and then we have to go back and they have to fix it or we have to fix it. So I'm excited about this. I think it's a step, the first step in a long time, and I know the judge tried to do it, and maybe it just wasn't the time then. But I believe the time is now. I think that everyone's concerned about it, and we do not want to be a Harris County. And I think we have to get our state representatives involved and on board for this. No one likes doing some of these things because they always say, well, it's going to be a tax, it's going to be a tax. We've got to look and we've got to solve the problem before it happens, not after it happens. And I appreciate so much that y'all have stepped up to help us. I appreciate the judge asking y'all, and y'all have done a great job. I just think that we're going to have to move forward with something. I don't know what the answer is. Do you suggest one of the three over the three?
Well, I think our group was, I don't know if there was a consensus necessarily. If you ask me personally, I would create a countywide drainage district. That's what I do. I've worked for the last 38 years with the Sampac County Drainage District, and they got one job to do all day long, and that is drainage and flood control. They don't have to worry about anything else in that county other than drainage and flood control. And their governance is a board of directors appointed by the Commissioner's Court. I think that's a great way to run drainage and flood control for county government. But that takes some legislative muscle to get done, and I understand the difficulties in that. And so if that can't get done, the group was trying to figure out what are some other mechanisms that could accomplish the same goal if we can't get to where we really want to go. I think everybody would like to get that done, but we had to step back and look at some other alternatives just in case we couldn't get there. And so that's how we came up with either expanding an existing district or utilizing another entity that's already there that has the legislative powers to come in and help us. So that's why we gave you three strategies. Me personally, and I think most of the engineers that if they were standing here with me would tell you move forward on a countywide drainage district.
Well, that makes sense to me too, but like you said, it may not be possible. But
Right.
I guess my question, Judge, is we've got three options here. Where do we go from here?
Well, we listened to what happens with number 3 on the agenda, and then we're going to have a discussion about funding. So I'd like to suggest, Commissioner, that you hold that thought, hold John's thought, everybody's thought, where we are, and let's have the presentation on the memo of understanding between what the city did yesterday. And then I'm going to present to the court what was brought to me yesterday afternoon. And it has funding implications about a lot of things. So let's hear number 3. Thank you, guys. Don't go anywhere. But let's hear number 3. Discuss the memorandum of understanding between the city of Corpus Christi and the county on funding some type of study, I guess is what the MOU is. We have copies of the MOU? Do we have copies, Steiner?
I just want to say
Yeah.
thing, Judge. I agree with Commissioner Vaughn and Maris, but I think if once we get started, and I think at the table, we should have all those entities together, and not just the city and the county. But I think when we start making plans and making decisions and looking at, I think everybody should be at the table, the drainage district from Robstown and Port Aransas, I think they all should be part of that table too, to give their input, because I think their expertise can really help us a lot in the long run.
Well, I don't disagree.
Absolutely. I think we all agree with that.
I think we all agree with that.
Yes, sir.
What we're doing now is getting copies made of the MOU passed yesterday by the city council, which basically commits the city of Corpus Christi, and if we approve it, Nueces County, to join together to do a study, county-wide study, including the city of Corpus Christi initially, and funding it from some available funds, and I'll let somebody in a few minutes tell us what those available funds are, as we partner with the city, and in this case, Joe, partner with the city, which are the two largest taxing authorities, county and the city in Nueces County. Okay, we got it coming? Okay. Is Maria here? Maria, I'm going to ask Maria to come ahead and talk about what was presented to us being myself, Juan, Kristen, the auditor, yesterday. I literally mean yesterday afternoon. And you're being given a copy of a notice of intent for the Texas Division of Emergency Management. And meanwhile, we're passing out the MOU. So let's go back. Maria, sit down just a second. Let's go back to the MOU, if you will. I'm bouncing around, guys, ladies, because we've got some tough decisions to make here and in the future with the next court. The MOU that you have in front of you is the MOU that was passed by the city council. This is what we talked about. I talked about. We had a meeting with the mayor and the city manager and a lot of other people. Juan was there. We talked about what we could possibly do together. Now is the time. And this is what John and Mr. Goldston were talking about. Now is the time for the county, and the city. Now, the available funds for this are what? Where are the available funds for the financing portion of this MOU? Where are those funds? Somebody tell me? Maria, can you tell me?
Well, I know the language in the MOU as it's written right now is vague. It does reference the money that has been allocated to Nueces County through the General Land Office, their disaster recovery funds. And we did get a letter from the General Land Office that our allocation for local infrastructure is approximately $4.6 million. They also have local buyout and acquisition money in the tune of $1.3 million. There is caveat to these particular funds coming through the General Land Office because they do have, it is a pass-through through HUD. So they do have a requirement that 70% of that local infrastructure money has to be used to benefit low to moderate income residents. So there's a caveat to that money. I know we see $4.6 million and we want to go out and spend it. But we do have to be mindful of the grant conditions that kind of come with that. So there's that's money is available also. And then we had also put in, Roxy, before she had left, had submitted several notice of intents to the Texas Division of Emergency Management for their hazard mitigation grant program. And I know she threw out a whole lot of projects just to try to see, for lack of a better word, to try to see what would stick. And I don't think we were expecting for the state to come back and tell us, go ahead and put in full applications for all 13 of these projects.
It was not the state, it was the director.
Yes, so,
Ms. Kidd.
yeah, so there's a third-party administrator that's working with Division of Emergency Management that has been in contact with our office. And she specifically told me that Chief Kidd asked about Nueces County. We are only one of 4 counties that he specifically asked to see applications from. But we also had thought we had a kind of a bigger leeway on the deadline, but the deadline is, we're being told November 23rd, which is next Friday. So basically, we would have to get it done by next Wednesday. There were 13 projects on the table. You know, the hazard mitigation money does require a 25% match, so that would be, if we do, you know, if we had gone with this list, we're talking of a $5 million match. Not including, you know, the fact that, you know, all TDM funds are reimbursement, so we would actually be funding the entire project and then request reimbursement along the way. So that's a huge financial commitment to the county. So, you know, I did sit down with the judge yesterday and kind of explained, you know, these requirements that these grants have. You know, we do have to show previous damage data. So there's work behind just simply, you know, we can do, you know, all these detention ponds and shutters and generators, but we do have to show that there was previous loss of service. If we're asking for shutters, we have to show proof of, you know, broken windows, invoices to fix those. So yeah, it's, you know, there's a lot of work to go behind it. So, you know, moving forward, we kind of talked about what we think is priority, and obviously drainage is one of them. So, you know, we do have all these detention ponds that are listed here, but to go put ponds, you know, yes, we did think about strategically where to place them, but there is also maintenance of those ponds that I don't think, you know, the county's ready to take, the Public Works Department is capable at this point of maintaining these ponds. That's where we would need to get the drainage districts involved to help us with this. I personally don't think we're ready to move and start digging ponds at this point, but, you know, we do have, and there's going to be more funding available. We have this hazard mitigation grant program that we can apply for right now, and then we do have our monies through the General Land Office. There's also pre-disaster mitigation money that's available every year through the state. So there's also more funding sources rather than, you know, I know, you know, we're working on kind of tight deadlines here, and I don't think until we get the drainage plan ready yet, I don't know if we're ready to move forward with full applications for detention ponds and things like that. That's my opinion.
Hey, Juan, do you have any information on any of the detention ponds at all?
The only ones that I've seen, Judge and Commissioners, are pretty much based on past experiences, just the Petronila detention pond. I know one time we're looking at the Bishop and Agua Dulce and Driscoll. Also, the Oso Creek, I'm not real sure on the size of the capacity of that detention pond, Judge, but I'm not fully aware of that one.
Okay.
So, I'm a little confused since we just got handed this.
If you think you're confused.
Yeah, this list was generated by us? I'm sorry, I'm just got handed this, so I'm a little.
Yeah, Roxy had submitted all these notice of intents,
Okay.
just because they were wanting, you know, they were wanting to see projects from Nueces County. So I'm not completely sure where she got her direction from. I don't know. I know she, I think, had a couple of sit-downs with, I think, Commissioner Gonzalez. Not too sure. She sat down with Commissioner Vaughn. But, yeah, so again, she was just thinking of things that we wanted to do. And then again, not really knowing that everything, you know, we were going to be.
Edward's right behind you.
Commissioner, historically, a lot of these projects are come from areas that flood, like the ones that are near the northwest portion of county off 666 and 624. Those are in Commissioner Vaughn's area. They flood out the Cindy Park area. That's why we've got a detention pond upstream. That'll help control, because that water flows all the way down through Banquete, and some comes through Agua Dulce, and it all ends up in Petronila, Agua Dulce, and goes further down into the Baffin Bay area. So these series of ponds are all kind of daisy-chained into a relief system that we think works. Agua Dulce, I've been out there with Commissioner Matas when we had 18 inches of water across the road. We talked to the mayor. The mayor has there's an existing drainage structure that's out there that's kind of silting in. There's 105 right there, the corner of 105 and 44. There's an area there that historically, if that area floods, the whole community floods. So if we put a detention pond there, we feel we can capture that water and release it slowly. In Robstown, we've got a couple of locations there. The biggest problem, and it affects Commissioner Vaughn on 69, is all that water wants to come through what is called Ditch A from the western portion of the county, going into the creek over here that goes behind our fairgrounds. So this is as part of the master plan. We have, I think it's 2 50-acre detention ponds that were supposed to be located there in those locations. So these projects are some of those just put down. This is an opportunity to where if each commissioner wanted to invest in a possible project, they could. You know, there's a buy-in, as she says. We've got a $1 million project. You got to pay and spend $250,000 of our local money. We've got to fund the whole project before, but on a monthly or bi-monthly basis, we can get reimbursement as we go through this project and pick and choose which projects. But if we don't apply, then we don't have the opportunity to any money at all. So that was the thought process.
Okay, so the agenda item is the memorandum of agreement between the city and Nueces County, which I've read, and then this is a separate item, I guess, related to the MOU, or it, and it's already some.
The, although we didn't put a notice of intent for the hazard mitigation grant program, we probably, because, Chief Kidd, who's the director of, emergency management with the state, is wanting to see Nueces County projects. If we do want to submit an application for countywide drainage study, I mean, that's probably possible. I won't say 100% sure, because obviously I would have to discuss this since we didn't submit a notice of intent, but from what I understand, it would be possible. So this is a possible funding source. I just wanted to kind of let the court know that, we did kind of have other ideas. This was before, we had the meeting regarding the countywide drainage study with the city. But yeah, this is a possible funding source, as well as the money from the general land office.
Okay, so today we're just being asked to approve the MOU, but this is just to give us some additional background information on funding sources that might be available as we move forward.
Like I said, the MOU, MOA is pretty general, and it does just say that, the county is going to be actively looking for funding sources to support the study, to pay for it, and then, any other, whatever the study finds, to keep finding funding sources for, whatever projects kind of come up from that study.
I think at the time that, Commissioner, if I'm wrong, Roxy, they had a short fuse to submit something to the state, and we didn't want, they were submitting nothing, said, and she asked, what does everybody need?
No, I just was curious.
And so she submitted that as far as, I think Chris had something to do with it. Chris worked with her on this, that, and because I said, I want to do my own detention pond, but I want this other 2 retention ponds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think that was a short fuse that we had. Either we submit it, or we don't submit it, we lose everything. So this was our wish list, I guess you want to call it wish list. But if there's funding there, that's great.
I'm trying to understand this, because you said November 23rd was a deadline. Deadline for what?
For the full applications for the hazard mitigation grant program.
Okay, so for what you're showing us here on this sheet of paper. So you're saying that if we don't apply by November 23rd, we don't have any chance to get this at all?
That's the deadline I was given. I mean, I'm pretty sure if Chief Kidd is, specifically wanting projects from Nueces County, there could be an extension. But that's
We
just
don't
the
know
deadline.
that. We
No,
don't
we
know
don't know
that.
that for sure.
How much maintenance does it take for detention ponds? It's just a pond.
Commissioner, to answer that question, it just depends. Depending on the silt and debris and all the other stuff that goes in there, probably trash and all that. You do have to mow it. That's going to be another part of the maintenance. So the thing is, who's going to do the mowing process of it, and who's going to be cleaning it up?
And the first thing I do also, Commissioner, you got to buy the land to be able to dredge it. So we're looking for that pond over there. We're looking at what, 20 acres, 25 acres. So, but this is working together with Drainage District Two. You know, they came in and they said, hey, whatever we need to do, we'll do it, we'll do our part, which is a great partnership with Drainage District Two. So, you know,
So, as Commissioner says, we've had discussions with them, and they're interested in helping us with the maintenance, especially in the ones that are within their districts. I mean, the ones outside of the districts will have different problems with those, but the ones that were within their maintenance, they're interested in working with us and taking care of them.
That's what I'm talking about. We all want to work together this round. I really do believe that. I just hate to see money put on the table for 19 million with a match of 4 million, and then we just say, okay, well, maybe it'll be there the next time, maybe it won't.
The other thing that Roxy said before she left, and Maria can attest to this, is that maybe we break it up into phases. Thank you. Essentially do the first part of the phase. They want to do a study. I mean, we're all studied out, we understand that, but they want to usually do a study to see if it's, you know, what the benefit analysis, cost-benefit
Who is
analysis.
they?
They is the funding agency.
Okay.
Because you're getting into this, they want to make sure that we know how to take care of it, that we can take care of it, and that we can build it. And
Do they pay for the study?
yes, that would be the first part of this deal.
Making
is
sure.
Part of that. And do the first part, which is the study, the second part, which is the actual construction, and then we maintain it throughout, you know, throughout the.
And one, I think I want to ask, how well do these detention ponds work?
Commissioner, depending on the design calculations of the ponds, they do alleviate some of the drainage problems on the, I'm gonna say on the upstream side and the downstream side, but it just depends on the design analysis that it's designed for. Typically, a pond is designed for a 10-year design. Depending on the detention time, it's either 30 minutes or an hour, depending on the volume. So all that would have to be evaluated.
Thank you.
it really is not the answer. It's not the solution, just part of the solution, because they're still going to get water, but they're not going to get as much water.
Correct. Because this last project, Juan actually worked on it for us with County Road 69, that diversion project, Commissioner. It works really well when, with a certain amount of water, but then we got like 20 inches of rain, and
That's when it starts filling up, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, you know, the pond is designed to allow only the drainage that initial, like your pre-development or your pre-post, your pre and your post, so it'll just allow that water to go through.
Thank you.
All right, now, I want to make sure I understand. If we approve the MOU, are we committing all of the $4.5 million to the joint study between the city and the county on redoing or doing a, I don't know whether it's a countywide, but a much broader drainage study for the county and the city? Is that the purpose of the MOU, to commit those funds so that there's $4.5 million in the pot from the county, and whatever money is there from the city, another $4.5 million. So are you telling me that it's going to cost $11 million to do a study?
And that's what I had mentioned in the meeting yesterday, that I wasn't sure what the cost of that study was going to be. But, the language in
John.
the MOU, the language in the MOU does make reference to the money from the general land office, but it does not commit those funds. It doesn't mention, this MOA does not mention a dollar amount at all. It basically, our objective is, it says this county and city shall pursue local, state, and/or federal funding.
Yeah,
So yeah, it does not,
I'm-
the way I understand it.
That's how I
I'm
read it. I'm not
legally-
comfortable
I'm
with
not-
committing monies right now,
Yeah, it doesn't
not
mention a
knowing what we
dollar
know. I
amount.
think we all need to do it, right? But I mean,
I was at the council meeting yesterday, and to me, I get the same thing. We're not
Okay.
committing the money. We are saying, okay, we're
Right.
going to go in this together, and let's see what we can find out. See if we can't get a master plan, a county-wide master plan.
and I'm sure John would like to sign up for that $11 million study, if that's the case that we're looking for. Yeah, I don't think that would be the intent either.
Well,
I can't imagine.
got it. And I understand that, and if we're sure that if the county moves forward, and I won't be here, but if the county moves forward, that at the end of the day, somebody's going to say, okay, we've done the study and your part's X. And X is a large part of that $4.5 or $5 million for the county, which we already have one, as John well knows. What you all need to know is that if we don't apply for some of this hazard mitigation grant program, and I will tell you one of the most important things on here is the courthouse and jail emergency generator. That's one of the most important things on this list because we need to completely redo the generator over there. So if we have to put 900 to 1,000 prisoners in that jail in a storm, then it will handle those. What we have now won't. It won't do it. So that's one of the really important issues. The second issue that I'll leave with you to think about is all of this money that we're talking about and the matching funds. The county match is large, it's 25%, but you have to spend the money in order to get to where you can do the match. And the auditor will tell you today, we don't have any money to do this. The only money we have available to make application for some of these things is the same $4 or $5 million that we're talking about using a portion of or all of to do the joint study. So you don't want to find yourselves in 2 or 3 months where you apply and the state comes back and says, okay, we're going to let you build that Oso Creek detention pond, $3.5 million, and the county doesn't have $3.5 million. In fact, we don't have any money to do this other than these funds that are available now through this other grant. So I'm urging you to think through this a little bit, because if you don't, I think the only thing on here we can literally try to do is the hazard mitigation plan of $50,000. And Melissa assures me we can get that done and we can find the matching funds by bringing in all the people. The other things on here that are very important to all of you, there is, and auditor, you help me here, there's absolutely no source of funds for this other than what we're talking about getting this other money, which may be obligated some way to the joint MOA. You want to talk about that?
Well, that is correct, Your Honor. We looked at all the funding sources we have. The only other issue would be going out on further debt for issuance of requirements that we require, because all of our funding sources that are there, the only one would be necessary to have the funds available as general fund, and we know its position.
Okay.
What about our individual county accounts, though?
Well, each individual county accounts, that may be run up to $1 million the total if we combine everything together, but that's where that would be, is that cost, but that would be y'all's, your choice of doing that.
Because you can't, we'd have to own the land for you use COs, and then if it wasn't COs, then you'd have to have, yeah. So, I mean, to me, moving forward on this, what I'm interested in is what y'all have articulated, everybody at the table, got to all be in, but and I think we're going to have to look at some sort of taxing mechanism, and believe me, I'm the last guy that wants to say that, but this is a serious multi-gazillion dollar problem, and if we don't deal with it in some capacity, we're going to have this multi-gazillion dollar project times 10, 20 years down the road. So we can piecemeal a little here and piecemeal a little there, and we need to look for funding mechanisms and grants and all that. But I think the only way, and I don't know how Sandpat's set up exactly or how Chewy gets it down for the valley, but we've got to model around those mechanisms where we can get big bucks, or we're not going to get anywhere on this. And I am certainly willing to stand up in front of my constituents and say, yes, this is going to cost you money, and be okay with that, because there's just not money for this kind of problem in any municipality's budget. There's just not, because these are, we hear about these 100-year storms and these 125-year storms, but we have them every 5 years or every 2 years or every 15 minutes, it seems like. So I don't get why they're called 125-year storms when we have them all the time. So someone needs to rename those. Yeah, I mean, someone just needs to rename them. But so I think this is great. I don't think we're committing, this right now, but I think we're on the right path. I'm with everyone else. I'm still a little confused as to what our next step needs to be. Certainly passing this MOU is one of them, as you've said, getting with our legislators is definitely a big part of this. And just preparing people to say, look, this is not going to come without a cost. And there is not a municipality in this state that I know of that can do this kind of work within the current tax structure they have without some sort of taxing municipal drainage district.
I know we're looking at our funding, grant matches and all that, but, going back to the example we saw just in 2017, Texas Water Development Board, $4.5 million to Hidalgo County's drainage plan for Raymondville drainage ditch. 4.5 million, 17.1 million in the last 10 years or so, roughly. There's money there. And one of the things I've heard from our legislators is, where's our uniformity? Where is our consensus? And I think that's what we're doing here today. And I think that gives them a better chance to be able to sell and advocate for us. And so it's going to take some of that money from, I think, different sources, still focus on the grant, and this was grant money as well, but grant money from DB as well, as in other areas, to help us find and get to get that final number. So I think if we can come here today with that consensus and say this is what we're coming together as a region, as a county, I think that Nueces County 2018, 2019 compared to even 2017 is by leaps and bounds a much bigger and different game. And so I think that will help us advocate for getting more money to ourselves this way that's going to other regions. It's just, if you look, $17.1 million that have gone year after year down the valley, just skipping past Nueces County because we haven't been as organized as we can or should be. I think we send a strong message today by approving this MOU, and we let our delegation know and the state of Texas know that we're finally getting organized and we're going to do something to address these flooding issues. And I think that's how we do it, is getting some of that money over to us.
I think you're right, Commissioner, but, especially the Water Development Board, my experience with them, they want big projects. They almost gave us $2 million just to put water in Cindy Park 1, Cindy Park 2. If this kind of a project, I think they're willing to probably give you a lot more money than that. So the money is there. We just, like you said, we just need to sit down and say, this is what we're going to do. This is what we want. We're committed, and go forward. I think we can get the help also from the Water Development Board, because they've been asking, what are the projects do you have down there that we want to get involved with? So.
And I did get an email from, and I can't remember the name right now, but it was for somebody from the Water Development Board with their flood mitigation program. And knowing this kind of information is vital to us. Knowing that San Patricio County went to a countywide drainage district, that's great for us to know, because then we can reach out to their officials and find out how they got that done. It's good to know that Hidalgo County got money from Water Development Board, because then we can reach out to their departments and find out what their strategy was. A lot of times, it's just reaching out to these other communities, and they're more than welcome, they're more than willing to share, their information on how they got their funding. So, let us know, and we will reach out to these
Everybody
communities.
knows. Water Development Board knows Nueces County.
Yes.
And they really support Nueces County on their projects. So, we actually got one foot in the door there that say, hey, look, we say we're going to do it, we're going to do it.
John, where are those funds? You're saying they're coming from the Water Development Board?
It's Water Development Board, yes. And so it was 4.5 million the last session.
And those funds are coming from the general fund of the legislature who funds the Water Development Board, or are they I don't know, are they a separate entity where they have the ability to tax or anything like that? No? Okay, because, so I guess the caution that we have to have on this is, if we're going to be another meal at the table, then there's going to be some possible resistance from others who aren't going to like that there's going to be another person bellying up to the bar and wanting some of those Water Development Boards. So we need to keep that in mind. I'm sure. You know what I mean? We got to. I just want to make sure, because there's going to be some sources against us.
A new plan, a new plate on the table, if you will, I think is going to bring more attention to us.
Agreed.
Than the same old project that keeps getting millions.
No, and I'm saying that's going to cause concern to those other counties.
No, I agree.
Who are going to be working against us possibly.
But like Commissioner Gonzalez mentioned, and if you look at these plans, Hidalgo County, of course, they're connected to all the other counties around them, and so it's like a 63-mile stretch that they're working on. So you want to talk about, they have a lot of municipalities and other counties involved. They do, and that's how they're able to sell it as well. But I think with, City of Corpus Christi, City of Robstown, Agua Dulce, Port Aransas, everyone that's on, on the list, and all our drainage districts as well, will make a big selling point to say, okay, we're finally trying to make a difference. And I don't think it's any coincidence that Chief Kidd is paying attention to us. I mean, he has spent a lot of time in Nueces County. He knows where we're at. He knows what our needs is. He's seen it firsthand when he came with the president, with the vice president multiple times. So I think people are paying special attention to us because they know we got so close to being severely hit by Harvey, and they're trying to do something. We got to be careful, and we all know this, as policymakers, as elected officials, that not to be reactive. You always see that in public service. We don't want to be reactive to a situation. And I think we all recognize that today. So I think to do that is we have to put some sort of effort up. We have to put some sort of money up, whether it comes from our individual accounts to help make up the difference, whatever. I mean, I'm ready to move forward on this MOU to include all the other entities that are going to be a part of this master plan, and then continue to work on finding that funding source so that we can make it happen. We have to.
And partnerships are important. You always kind of score higher when you have, community involvement, not just, governmental agencies, but, we'll get, the drainage districts involved. And so, yeah, the more partners we have in this, the better.
When somebody's knocking on your door, you better answer it. And they're knocking on the door right now, so.
Who drew up this memorandum of agreement? Was it the city?
The city and myself.
Okay, so you didn't put us in anything where, I don't see a number in
No.
here at all. This is
No.
just an agreement for us to start working together to try and do this. And then we're going to try and get funds and grants for whatever we come up with.
Correct.
I think it's a great move, and I
Good
think
move.
we need to approve it.
What is your closing date for Tatum?
For Tatum is November 23rd.
No, but that's only one, right?
Yes.
The others are January what?
The others are January 31st. So we just have to let the general land office know that we are, we intend to use our $4.6 million. And that deadline is November 30th. And then the full application would be due January 31st.
Okay, let me suggest, Court, that you take this list, or let her take this list, and that you put an agenda item on the agenda sometime early in the January meetings, because a decision by the court is going to have to be made for Tatum. We're going to have to let them know, yes or no, that we're interested in pursuing some of these, and you all will have that opportunity if you do this right. Remembering that there are only one source of funds, you can't spend it twice. This is not the federal government. But we could go ahead and put something on the agenda for you to discuss and make a decision and have some idea of whether or not you want to pursue this before the January closing date. So that's my suggestion on that. You can do what you want to. But we have a motion before the court, MOU, as outlined by the city, and I assume we made that. Who made that motion? Okay. All right, and who made the second? Me. All right, any other discussion, public comment? All right, thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, post same sign. All right, you still have before you the, in my opinion, you have the issue going back for Chief Kidd that you're going to need to take some action on. Okay. Number 5, do we want to set up, Tyner, what would the process normally be? We will have a vacancy there. When do you leave, Kristen?
Next week's my last week.
Next week? Okay, so you would be basically the entire month of December. Okay, Julie, you need some help here.
Good morning.
All right.
Yes, Christian will be leaving next week, so I recommend that we go ahead and post that job right away so we can
Right.
start looking for applicants.
Right.
I can post that job for a week
Thanks, John. Thank you all.
or however long y'all would like me to post it. And I can get those applications to you if y'all would like to do an interview on December 5th. We could possibly arrange for that.
Okay, what's the court wish? Like, go ahead and open this up and start getting applications. Then the court can decide if they want to interview or not, or when afterwards. Let's leave the application process open, with the permission of the commissioners. Let's leave the application process open at least 2 weeks, because it's holiday. People are not going to be really looking at this until after the 1st of December.
Okay.
So if you leave it open for 2 weeks or so, then you can put it together, and then the court can decide if they want to interview or wait for the new county judge to come in and look at, and that's a decision the court can make in December if you have applications in, right?
I agree with the judge.
I appreciate that, Judge, yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I think you ought to get your applications moving.
Yeah, I do too.
Yes, I agree.
I agree with that too.
So I'll post for 2 weeks.
Post for 2 weeks. Then when the applications are here, the court can get together and say, okay, we're going to wait on the new county judge. We're not going to do anything. And that's probably wise. But you need to get your application process going.
Right.
We need to find out who's in the fight and what kind of dog's in the fight and otherwise. Okay, is that all right, guys, to do that?
That's fair.
Okay. I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Pose same sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That'll basically leave you without anyone in that position the month of December.
Possibly, yeah, depending on what yeah.
All right?
Then the applications will close the 28th, basically? That's 2 weeks from now? Okay.
Okay.
And then, so you're going to put something on the 5th for us to just figure out what we want to do from there?
Yeah, and the 5th.
Okay.
And you may say, let's just wait, and that's fine.
Yeah, I just want at
If
least.
you get a lot of
applications
applications, it'll take a while to go through them and then let the
in. Right, let's
county
at least
judge be
get
a
the
player.
apps in. It's fine.
So I'll bring it back on the 5th to decide.
Yes, that'd be good. Okay, thank you. 6 we tabled, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, number 7, Wade is here. Good morning.
Did
Did
we
he
vote?
leave? No, he's here.
Did we vote on 5? I'm sorry. We did? Okay.
Yeah, we did.
Sorry.
We did. Hello, Wade, how are you?
Old and tired.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning. We're handing out sort of a bullet points sheet with you to give you some ideas of what our activities have been for the last year. We've really expanded a lot of our programs countywide. We're going into the jail at least once a week to speak to both males and females, to talk to them about exit strategies when they get out of their current predicament, and about life planning, sobriety issues, of course, and some counseling with our people at our program. Last year we worked with approximately 33 12 and unders in our preventative program. That's a program that we have going where the kids are not in the best environments, but they learn coping skills, how to identify feelings, how to express feelings constructively, how to be able to converse with adults about what's going on in their lives, and doing that also on a constructive basis. We've worked with approximately 500 teens as group members. By 500, I mean that's people that have been to the program, attended meetings, doing counseling, coming there to stay sober, get off drugs, improve their situation both in school and their home lives, and we work with them consistently. Actually, the number of people that we've talked to are teen-wise throughout the county over last year is over 6,000 people. Those are done through speaking engagements, activities at schools, the number of retreats that we have, drug and alcohol abuse seminars that we do, educational retreats as well. So we touch the lives of a great number of kids here in the county. We're grateful that the 500 that came to us for help have found it. We have a very good success rate nationally for like most recovery places. The success rate is 33%. Ours is 82%. And the reason that is because they make an investment at our organization. We are a peer-based support group, which means that when they start coming there, they're changing their friends. They're changing the people that they hang around with. And they make an investment in the counselors and the activities and the retreats that we do. And now there's an emotional investment. You know, I don't want to lose this. And suddenly that becomes more important than the people that they were hanging out with to get high and go do drugs with. Having said that, make no doubt there is an epidemic in this community. Not just simply opioids, which we've been hearing about so much on the news, of course, but synthetic marijuana is still a major problem. As long as there's going to be drug testing, there's going to be people coming up with drugs that will hopefully avoid the drug testing. And unfortunately, some of those drugs are very deadly, and they are being used and passed out. and the synthetic marijuana is one of them. We're also working with the hospitals like Bayview, CCMC. We also work with Shoreline out in Taft at their adolescent treatment facility. We are now going into the juvenile detention center as soon as we get some more paperwork to put through to get kids prepared on an exit strategy there and to be able to come to our program and work with our counselors as well. Does anybody have any questions?
Any questions? You guys do great work.
I get to see your facility. I live pretty close by, so I see all the car wash fundraisers and everything that y'all do, and it just seems like a great group. Like they're just happy and enjoying life, and I'm sure that's a definite extreme compared to maybe the choices that they've made to get there to that point. But in reading this fact sheet that you gave us and talking about some of your successes, I mean, something as simple as somebody joining the Navy, you would think, well, that's a great honor for them to decide that in life. But based on what you were saying, that 4 years in recovery, that's something even bigger. But to be able to make something of their lives, and so I just want to ask how you have a lot of success, but you may have failure. But how many times do you think they come back, or do they come back if they fail, or
If they fail, they're back. Yeah.
they're back?
If they do relapse, they may stay out for a little while, but inevitably, they know where the help is, and so they will come back, and we will get them the help that they need. The young man here that we just quoted that said he's had the 4 years, I saw him when he came into the program. He was a scrawny 13-year-old, 12-year-old kid, very smart-mouthed, him against the world kind of an attitude. And he's actually my sponsee. I sponsor him in the program. And to see where he's at today, it's amazing. I went to court with him because he had some legal issues. And I bet if you brought that judge in today, she would just tell you what a remarkable young man he's become. He's changed his life and turned it around.
Thank you for sharing.
Very good. I need a motion to approve the funding.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Both same sign. Thank you. Good to see you both. Thank you very much. Urban Counties has a part of Urban Counties is a public power pool P3. Commissioners, some of you may not know, but we buy our power, but most of it through P3. The savings over the years that we have recognized is in the millions of dollars. And I'm proud today that we can have a presentation on the P3 program, just so you'll know, all of you will know, that this is an aggregated program. Years ago, Texas became one of the states that allowed aggregation of power. And through Urban Counties, we've really done a good job. Good to see you. Thank you this morning, David.
Thank you,
Thank
Judge.
you.
Thank you, Commissioners. My name is David Quinn. I am the Program Manager for Public Power Pool. P3, as the Judge said, was set up by Texas counties looking to minimize risk in the deregulated market back in 2002. We now have 97 members, 47 Texas counties are in the group, including a lot of your neighbors along the Gulf and in South Texas. We represent a load of about 1 million megawatt hours per year, was worth about $73 million. There's a presentation inside that folder on the right-hand side that I'd like to draw your attention to, please.
Sure.
Page 2 is our current membership list. We have been adding a lot of members over the past couple of years as more and more counties and political subdivisions hear about the benefits of joining P3. Just in the past 12 months, we added Smith County up in Tyler, Wharton County, and Falls County. So we are at 47 Texas counties in the group of 97 members, 20 odd Texas cities, over 20 municipal utility districts, a couple of hospital districts. I think our record speaks for itself. Since the program began in 2002, we have saved $118 million against the market. That's comparing the price that you're paying under each of your contracts to the market price each day since deregulation began. For Nueces County, your savings have been $2.2 million as a member of this program. Our calculation is that if a entity was in the marketplace by itself on the day that we transact for the group, if any of our members were trying to do it by themselves, they would pay about a third to a half a cent per kilowatt hour more. So to build on our past record of savings, the P3 board met in 2017 and instructed us to take advantage of low energy prices and start a procurement for 2020 through 2022. We sent our RFP out to every registered retail electric provider in the state. There were 150 listed by the PUC. 38 responded, and we finished up signing contracts with 4 of those that agreed to our contract terms. The winning bid came from the General Land Office, Cavallo Energy. For the county, it was 3.48 cents, fixed rate for 2020 through 2022. It's a 3-year period. Compared to the rate you're currently paying under the existing contract, that means that you will see a reduction of $199,476 in 2020, going into 2020 compared to 2019. Just like to emphasize just quickly, because we did conduct a pricing exercise for Nueces County about a year ago when you looked to bring in about 35 accounts that were owned by Nueces Electric Co-op. You all took ownership over those and came to us to seek pricing for those 36 accounts. And you also wanted to compare and see what you could get from a broker. We worked with you and we worked with a broker to give you two different analysis of what the rate would be. We finished up putting those 36 accounts into contract at 3.21 cents per kilowatt hour. The broker's offer was 4.05. It was about a 13% higher rate that they were charging that was driven primarily by their margin, by their broker fee, which was $3 per megawatt hour. Just by contrast, P3's aggregation fee, which would be the equivalent of broker fee, is 59.3 cents per megawatt hour. So that's 1/6 of what you would have paid to a broker for adding those accounts to the P3 contract.
I'm sorry, let me interrupt you, and I apologize. So with the P3, we don't pay a broker?
We represent you in the marketplace as a 501c4 political subdivision corporation that you have joined. So that empowers us with the ability to act on your behalf in the marketplace. You pay us a aggregation fee, which is 59.3 cents per megawatt hour.
We pay you, okay, help me out. We pay you how?
It actually shows up, Commissioner, it shows up on your bill as a line item on the bill. You don't technically pay it to us directly, you pay it to the provider, which in this case is the General Land Office, Cavallo, and then they reimburse us at a rate of 59.3 cents per megawatt hour.
Okay, how does that translate into kilowatt hour?
It would be 0.000593 cents per kilowatt hour.
Tell me that again.
0.000593.
So of the 3.48 cents per kilowatt hour, we're paying you 0.00059 cents of that.
593 cents of that.
593 cents of that. So in essence, we're not paying a broker, but we're still paying a fee for you to represent us.
Correct. You're paying an aggregation fee, yes.
So in that 3.48 is your fee of this 0.000593, which equates to what per year based on our usage? And you may have been getting to that. I'm sorry if I cut you off.
And that's a great question. Right behind that presentation, Commissioner, there is a forward budget report that itemizes, breaks out every component cost that shows up on your bills. And you can see there that your total cost expenditure in 2018, for example, is $1.497 million. The fee that you pay as the aggregation cost of P3 is $11,047.
Of the 1.479 million?
Yes.
It's $11,047?
Correct.
Okay. Whereas if we had a broker on that, we would probably pay quite a bit more.
We've done quite a lot of analysis in the marketplace to find out what the brokers are charging and what the competition offers. And we find that we're seeing usually broker rates of about $3 to $4 per megawatt hour, which would be 3 to 4 times more than P3's aggregation fee.
And so you're a 501c3, C4?
C4.
And what's that? That's a nonprofit for governmental entities?
Exactly. It's a nonprofit political subdivision corporation created under the Texas Local Government Code.
Gotcha. So you're not in the business of making money per se, just covering your operational costs and helping municipalities save money.
Correct. We're in the business of enabling you to save taxpayer dollars.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Go ahead.
Any other questions?
Yeah, right.
Where can we find more people
Just so
like
the
that?
court will know, year before last, Steve and I did an exhaustive RFP type thing with brokers. We went out to every broker that we could get to respond. It's amazing how many will not, but we got 2 or 3 people who came back. We analyzed that very carefully, and the P3 people were so far ahead of what we could do that we certainly elected to bring back to the court that we stay with P3, which has really been very advantageous to counties like Nueces. But we did a study, and we did get some response. Most of your brokers go to the same people that P3 goes through. They don't own any production, and they don't own any generation, and they don't own anything else. They go out and broker their ability to do this. We had some really good bids, but nobody came close to where we were on P3.
Well, Judge, we find that, the leverage of the group is really
Yeah, it's got to be.
saving our members a great deal of money in the marketplace.
Well, that's what we found, and so that's why I continue to support what you all do. And being on the board of the urban counties, I can tell you that there's some hard questions asked of these guys every time we meet. But you can look at the savings that has come through the aggregation program as a service to the urban county members, and this is one of the really great services I think we provide for counties.
Thank you, Judge.
Any other questions? If not, I appreciate your being here.
I appreciate the opportunity to update court.
Thank you.
And thank you for your
And we look forward to savings again.
Well, we will be doing our best to make sure that we continue.
You do.
to track
All right.
Thank you. We appreciate this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners.
Kristen, help me with 9. They always want to know how we want to spend the money.
Yes, today, all we're doing is basically the court's just receiving the notification for the fiscal year 18 funding. So the RTA did allot $79,447 for 2018 from its street improvement fund. Now, of that $79,447, $21,000 is being retained, and that's because Commissioner Gonzalez and Commissioner Vaughn went into a project together for improvements to the Hector P. Garcia Clinic bus shelter in the amount of $21,000. So the amount left to be allocated is $58,447. And so that's divvied equally amongst each of the commissioners and the judge, less the Commissioner Vaughn and Commissioner Jack.
So you're going to divide up 58?
Right, so if you look, I don't know if you have this, let me show you on the screen here. So if you look towards the bottom of your screen, you'll see
There you
that.
go.
Yes, that 15,889 is for yourself, and then Commissioner Matas and Commissioner Chesney, and then the other 2 have been reduced for their contribution for the bus. And then we will be asking, that the RTA always asks for what projects you will be doing with this allocation, so we will need that information from each of you so that we can bring that to the court at a later date.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, do we need to vote on anything?
Motion to
Yes.
vote to accept.
Okay. All right, that's a motion?
Yes, sir.
And I got a second?
Yes, sir.
See no public comment. All in favor? Aye. Pose same sign. Thank you. Maria?
I got one question, Christian, on the letter from Sharon, November the 5th, 2018.
Yes.
There's an error there, right? I mean, it says Nueces County Hospital District. It really should be Nueces County Commissioner Precinct 1 and Commissioner Precinct 2. I don't want the hospital district think that they're going to pay for it, but
Oh, is it on Exhibit A?
yeah,
Okay. We will work with Sharon to see if we can get that corrected.
thanks.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Okay, so the first two agenda items that the Grants Office has are closely related, so let me give a little bit of background. I won't take too much of your time. On October 25th, 2017, the court had ratified a grant award from the Texas Indigent Defense Commission, and it was a brainchild of Judge Sandra Watts, and it was for the pretrial risk assessment initiative. For that initiative, it paid for salary for two adult probation, CSCD employees to basically do risk assessments on a 24-hour basis, 7 days a week, to help try to alleviate the jail population. So in order to do that, we executed an interlocal agreement with adult probation, and at that time, we had put in that interlocal agreement that the cost was not to exceed $113,810, and that amount should have been $151,250, which is 100% of the salary costs for those positions. Now, Texas Indigent Defense Commission is reimbursing 75% of that amount. So this first agenda item is to do a supplemental agreement to that interlocal to just kind of do a little correction on those salaries for those positions.
Okay, questions? If not, entertain a motion.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, pose same sign, thank you. Number two.
So number two is for the same project, but we also entered into an interlocal with the Texas A&M Public Policy Research Institute to kind of look through the data for this program to see how successful it is, to report back to the Indigent Defense Commission on, kind of how the program is working. So this is a no-cost time extension. Originally, their interlocal was supposed to expire on February 28th, 2019. We are now requesting for that completion date to now be June 30th, 2019. We have requested an extension to the grant to the Texas Indigent Defense Commission to extend that deadline date, just to kind of give us more time to gather the data. I did talk to William Scholl with CSCD, and he said he's committed to leaving those employees kind of where they're at to continue the risk assessment even without the grant, because he thinks it's pretty successful. So this is again a no-cost time extension to the Texas A&M contract.
Very good. Questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
There's a motion.
Second.
And there's the second. All in favor? Aye, pose same sign, thank you. Number
Our-
three.
Our last item is to approve the submission of a grant application for the 2019-2020 General Assistance Grant made available through the Texas Veterans Commission. We've actually gotten this grant 6 years, I think, in a row, so we would like to reapply. This is the program where the veterans who are experiencing financial difficulties can go to our veteran services and get referred to social services for assistance with rent, utilities, mortgage, bus passes, and even burials. So we recommend approval of this application. It is due on Friday, and we will be applying for $150,000 with no cash match required.
So move.
Second.
Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye, pose same sign. Thank you. Good work, Public Works.
Judge, Commissioners, we're recommending the release of the water line bond for Royal Estates Unit 2. They've met all their construction requirements, so we're recommending the release of the bond only for the water line improvements.
Okay. Anybody have any questions of one? If not, I'll entertain a motion. There's the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's the second. See no comment. All in favor? Aye. Pose same sign. Good. That's quick. Michael, good morning.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. We have one item today, which is the award of solid waste collection and disposal service for the dumpsters at the local county-owned properties. We received 3 bids, and this contract has an initial term of 24 months with an option for 3 additional years renewals. We're recommending award to the low bidder, who is Waste Connections, doing business as CC Disposal, who is our current provider, in the annual amount of $67,422. The current contract expired back on October 23rd, and we're in a month-to-month right now.
Is this the one where we were talking about the length of the,
There was an issue regarding the size of a
Right,
container.
right.
Those bids were rejected. We rebid it out.
okay,
And we received, again, 3 bids.
good.
So,
And this container will fit, huh?
correct size.
Okay. Any questions? Any questions?
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second? All in favor? Aye, opposed, same sign. Thank you all. If you hurry.
I will. Good morning, and I love it when people talk trash with me. Vic Medina with CC Disposal. I want to thank you in seriousness. I want to thank you for awarding the contract to us. We've been your provider since 2013 and commit ourselves to working with Mr. Juan Pimentel in the Public Works Department to our best of our ability. Thank you. Have a good
Very
day.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for your patience. This has been a rather drawn-out experience. Auditor?
We have one item on your agenda. This is budget change order number 3 for our current fiscal year. Excuse me. There are 3 departments on the list requesting a change. That'd be the building superintendent requesting a little bit of travel for some trainings they may have. 214th District Court, because of an employee that was on leave, they needed some temporary services to cover that while they were on leave. And for the JP12, they needed also to do some training for some additional costs. And some of these were the cuts that we had originally provided. The additional funds they have to move the money around is there. We've looked over the transfers at the request, and we believe the funds are available for this, and we submit this for your approval.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. That's it?
That's it, Judge.
All right, Commissioners Court may go into executive session at any time for items posted on the agenda. We will now go into executive session under the authority of Government Code, Vernon's Texas Code, Sections 551, 07, 1072, 073, 074, 0745, 076, 086, 087. We'll now go into executive session at 12 o'clock for items posted under 5A.
Judge, can I just real quick, I wanted to, I know, I'm not sure everybody's met, but I did want to recognize that former Mayor of San Antonio, Ivy Taylor, is here with us today, and
Mic is on. Thank you very much. We'll go back into regular session. It's 12:25. 12:25. We're on 5B. Is there a motion? And the motion is?
Motion to appoint.
Yeah, I need a motion.
Appoint Maria for the grant administrator's position.
All right, the motion is to appoint Maria to the position of Grants Administrator for Nueces County. And Counselor, you help me. Is that a good motion? Can we stop right there?
We need a second.
No, I know, but I mean, is that enough motion?
Maybe her last.
Do when? Effective November 17th. Thank you. Effective November 17th. Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign. Congratulations. I know you'll do us a great job. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I know I've talked enough today, but I do want to thank the court for your vote of confidence in me, and I promise I will do a good job, and I will make you
I'm
proud.
sorry I'm not going to be here to work with you. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure working with you, Judge, for the.
Thank you very much. You've grown a lot. Thank you very much.
I'll be here.
yay.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations. Thank you, Julie. All right, board appointments.
You've got Nueces County Airport Advisory Board. You have incumbents, Antonio Arredondo and Thomas Klassen for reappointment. And you have a new applicant, Keely Hunsaker. There is an empty position at large.
Sam, you got a vacant spot? All right, then, if I move to reappoint the two reappointments and appoint Keely Hunsaker, that'll fill you? Okay.
My vacancy is still there.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
you're
right,
correct.
Joe. Joe.
He's
Can
correct.
you help us, Joe, find somebody to
I
do?
want to try, I asked Commissioner Vaughn, and she had somebody.
Okay, well, you guys work together.
Female, yeah. Remember?
Yeah, try to find us a nice female for that duty.
I second Judge Neal's motion.
Okay, all in favor? Aye, pose same sign. Child Welfare Board,
One member has submitted for reappointment. That's Jennifer Kremer Oliva. Recommend appointment.
is there a motion?
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye, pose same sign. All right, Regional Health Awareness Board,
Recommend reappointment of William Burgeon Jr.
all right, you know who that is, guys, ladies, that's Dr. Bergen,
Dr. Bergen.
and he is your go-to guy in the Health Department. All right, I'll move that we reappoint him. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, pose same sign. Thank you.
Okay, you have this is Nueces County Emergency Services District 1. You've got a resignation, and you've got two reappointments of incumbents. That's Kevin McDonald and Kyle Lukenbach. I don't know if you want to appoint those, because then you got to pick one out of the two new applicants, which is Keith Havelka and Matthew Gibson.
Judge, I make a motion to reappoint and also a motion to appoint Keith Havelka.
So moved.
All right, that's a motion and a second. Any questions or none?
I just want to, on the record, that I recuse myself on that.
On the entire,
Well, no, I'll vote on the one, but he's got them together, but the other one is my son-in-law. I'm not going to vote on that.
okay, that's fine. Which one is your son-in-law?
Keith Havelka.
All right, so you're voting to reappoint McDonald?
Yeah.
Yeah, you make the motion. All right, that's fine.
That was
That'll cover everything. That'll be good.
second.
All right, I have a second. All in favor? Aye. Oppose? Recuse? One.
And then
No.
the motion to appoint Keith.
It is motion, Judge.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And then the separate motion is the motion to appoint Keith Havelka.
Okay, I
And
got
this-
it.
Just so you know, this gives Precinct 3 a seat on that board. We've never had someone,
Good.
a resident of Precinct 3 on Emergency Service District 1. And they serve a big chunk
Yeah, they do.
down 44 and down County Road 61.
Second.
That's Precinct 3. So this is
That's good.
it's important for us to have this representation.
Second.
And we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign.
Next, you have Emergency Services District Number 2.
Right?
You have a Jimmy Rector resignation. You have a reappointment of two, David Jackson and Gary Graham.
I'd like to reappoint, but I would like to hold on the application for the new spot, please, if that's all right. And so I would like to move that we reappoint the two and then hold on the other for now.
Okay, so
And I'm gonna-
you're not adding Charles Spivey.
I'd like to reopen that.
All right?
And do this again on the 5th, please, with the opportunity to,
Do we understand the motion?
yes,
Got it?
I do. I don't know if y'all do.
You got it? There's a second to that. So we're reappointing two then and leaving a vacancy.
For now, yes, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign. Thank you. And F?
Lastly, you have Emergency Services District Number 3. You have a resignation of Chidester, but you have a reappointment letters for Barry Firkin and Gary Eulenfeld.
All right?
We only have one vacancy.
Need a motion.
Motion to reappoint.
Second.
I have a motion, a second.
It is going to leave one vacancy, I believe.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Pose same sign. Okay, we've still got a vacancy there as well. Is that correct?
That's my understanding, yes, Judge.
Tyner, if you just make sure mine gets put back on for the 5th,
December
not
5th?
mine, but yeah.
That's all the
Please.
appointments.
December 5th. Okay.
All right. Anyone else or anything for today before we adjourn? Anybody? Anyone have any persons to adjourn in memory of today?
One.
All right, go.
Frank Paul Skirka passed away on October 22nd, 2018, military veteran and Army National Guard. He was active in his community and Boy Scouts of America. He is the father of our former District Attorney, Mark Skirka, and I'm sure the family and all friends he will be missed, and our prayers go out to the family.
Thank you very much. Anyone else?
Judge, I have
Anyone
one.
else? All right, fine, thank you.
Jackson Kid Duncan. Jackson passed away recently. He's the son of Scott Duncan, who is a local lawyer here in the Coastal Bend, been here for many, many years, and truly no father should ever have to bury their son. So condolences to that family.
Anyone else? John, you got anybody? Carolyn, let's stand for a moment. Thank you. Mic is off. Mic is off.